Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Good day to all of us. Ako po si Deborah Garcia and welcome to another series of lessons where you will learn not just the theories and form of the language but also the function and the usage. But before you watch this video, please make sure that you've already watched the previous series with 18 lessons in it. I put the link of the third lesson in the description box below because in that series I discussed all the major theories that will help you understand the Filipino language from the very basic to the advanced level. So if you're ready, grab your pen and paper and let us learn all about conversational Filipino. Today we are going to discuss the things that we should do when we are visiting a friend's house. When visiting a friend's house is kapag bumibisita sa bahay ng kaibigan. When is kapag, or it could also mean if. So you could say if you are visiting a friend's house. So we say kapag, and then visiting is in the present continuous form, and we don't have that form. We don't have the ing form in the Philippines. So we are going to use the present tense of the verb bumibisita, or you can also use in this title, you can also use the future tense of the verb, which is bibisita. So you could say kapag bumibisita or kapag bibisita. And then friend's house, we do not have the apostrophe S in the Filipino language. So we just say house of a friend. Bahay is house, kaibigan is a friend. So kapag bumibisita sa bahay ng kaibigan. Now, there are vocabulary words that we need to get familiar of before discussing the things that we should do when we are visiting a friend's house. And these vocabulary words that I prepared for you are really not new because most of them, if not all, have been discussed in my previous lessons. Okay, so here are the words that we need to be familiar of. Dating, not dating, okay? Dating is to arrive. Dala is to bring. Magalang means respectful. Kalat is mess. Tulong is help. Handa means to prepare. Linis is to clean. And alis is to leave. So as I said, these words are just repeat words from the previous lesson. So I hope you still remember these because we are going to use them in sentences. Okay, so I listed down 6 things that we should do when we are visiting a friend's house. Mga dapat gawin. We always encounter this word, right? Mga. It is an indicator that something's plural. Dapat is should or right. And then gawin is to do. To do. From the word gawa, do. So things to do or things that you should do when visiting a friend's house. Okay? Mga dapat gawin kapag bumibisita sa bahay ng kaibigan. Number 1. I hope by this time you are very good in reading Filipino words or sentences already because from the past lesson, we've been practicing reading long sentences and we even read one paragraph, right? So this one, number 1, dumating sa tamang oras. From the word dating, to arrive, the root verb is dating, and then we put an here as an infix. So dumating sa tama. Tama means right or correct. Oras means time. So it means arrive at the right time, or that is when you translate it word for word, but in English you would say arrive on time or be on time. Number 2, magdala ng pasalubong. Dala is to bring. Magdala is in the imperative form, you should bring. You should bring pasalubong. You know what a pasalubong is? Okay, it's very common for Filipinos when you go somewhere. For example, you would tell your office mates that, oh, I'm going back to the Philippines or I'm going to Italy. Then the Filipino office mates might say, hey, pasalubong. When you come back, you should bring pasalubong. What is that? So it's actually a present. We don't have the exact English term for pasalubong, but because it's a Filipino thing. So wherever you go, you should bring something from that place that you went to. And if you're a visitor, you should, as a courtesy to the host, you should bring something as well. Pasalubong is always food to share with the host, not really a present, okay, not material things. It's usually food. And but if you are on a vacation, the pasalubong would be a souvenir from that place or a specialty from that place. If I have a friend who would go back to the Philippines, I would always ask for dried fish or dried mango or the pure chocolate cacao, the cacao tablets. That's what I always ask for pasalubong. Okay, number 3, maging magalang. Maging is be. Be what? Magalang is respectful. Be respectful. It is very common for Filipino households to have extended families. So when you visit when you visit a friend's house and your friend is a Filipino, you would likely see his or her grandparents, his or her uncles and aunties, cousins. So especially for the elders, if they are inside the house, you should be respectful. Okay, do not make too much noise, and be careful with your words. Old people don't want too much slang, for example, and of course no cursing, right? It's usual for old Filipino people to be disappointed, or they may get annoyed if the visitors are so what do you call this, they see it as rude if you curse a lot, okay, and if you're too noisy, if you're too loud. So maging magalang, be respectful. Number 4, huwag magkalat. Huwag means don't. Kalat is mess. Magkalat means don't make a mess or don't be messy, because it's not your house, okay? And then number 5, tumulong sa paghahanda ng lamesa. It's a long sentence. Tumulong is from the word tulong, right? Help. This one is from the word handa. Paghahanda means to prepare. Help in preparing the lamesa. Lamesa is table. It's from Spanish word. So help prepare the table. It is part of Filipino hospitality. Whenever you visit someone's house, you are always being offered with food. Now, the visitors are not expected to help prepare the food on the table or help set up the table or even clean up the table after. But as a courtesy, it is very polite that as a visitor, you offer to help. Though the host would always say, no, you're a visitor, you must be treated like a visitor. So you sit there, we are going to prepare everything. Same with when we are cleaning the table. As a visitor, it is a courtesy to always offer to help, but then the host would surely say, no, you can't help, you're a visitor. We have this belief that if you let the visitor wash the dishes or help clean the table, they won't come back to your house anymore. So as a host, we don't want our guests to help clean up or to prepare the table. Okay, number 6, magpasalamat bago umalis. Salamat is a very common word. Thank you. Salamat means thank or thank you. So magpasalamat is say thank you. Bago is before. Umalis, from the word alis, leave. So say thank you before leaving. So since it's been a while since we practiced conjugating verbs, and I don't want you to forget how to conjugate verbs, because that's one of the hardest tasks in Filipino language, conjugating the verbs, because aside from you are conjugating them according to their affixes, you are also conjugating them according to the focus of the sentence. So it could be the doer of the action as the focus, or the the object of the sentence. So these 4 verbs here that we used earlier were conjugated into their imperative forms, because we are telling someone what to do when they are visiting a friend's house. And then I put in here the affixes that we used. So for the verb dating, or to arrive, we used and is an infix, so we said dumating. Dumating sa tamang oras, or be on time. And then Dala, we used mag. Mag is a prefix, so we said magdala, to bring. So magdala ka ng pasalubong. You bring pasalubong. Tulong, we used and we said tumulong. Tumulong ka, you help preparing the table. And then linis, we used mag. We can use mag, but in the sentence that I gave earlier, we did not use mag though, because the focus of the sentence is different. So, but we say maglinis. We said maglinis. So if you are telling someone to clean, so you say maglinis ka, or you clean. So we are going to conjugate them into their the three simple tenses. So present, past, and then the future. Don't worry, I'm going to give you a little bit of a review on how to conjugate them, like the patterns that we need. So for example, for the verb dating, imperative, dumating. How about the future tense first? Let's go with the future tense first. So we do not use yet. Is an infix, and we are going to start using the in the present form. But for the future tense, what we do, we copy the first syllable of the main verb or the root verb. Dating, the first syllable is da, plus the root verb, dating. So dating. Dating is the future tense. How about the present? So the present, in the present tense, we are going to use From dadating, which is the future tense, we insert the here. So it will become dumadating, like this. Dumadating. So what did we do? We copied the future form of the verb dating, dadating, and then we inserted the it became dumadating. Then this is the present. Now, for the past tense, we are just going to copy the root verb dating, and then we are going to insert the here after the first letter. So it will become dumating, like this. Dumating. Your verb is dating, and then you inserted the dumating. So if you notice, the past form of the verb dating is also the same as the imperative form if your verb is an verb. Now it's different when your verb is a mag verb. But don't worry, this is not as complicated as the So for mag, future tense, you are going to use the prefix mag. So it will become mag, plus you are going to repeat the first syllable of the root verb, dala, mag, da, and then you are going to add the entire verb, dala. So it would become magdadala. That's your future tense. For the present tense, the mag will become nag. So we change this to nag. And we are going to copy the first syllable of the main verb as well. So da. And we are going to copy the entire verb, dala. So future magdadala, present nagdadala. For the past form, we keep the nag. So we say nag. And then we are just going to copy the entire verb, dala. So past form would be nagdala. Okay? Do you remember now? If you are having a hard time understanding the pattern or the form, you can always go back to the previous lessons where I put a really clean table with the patterns and the rules for conjugating the verbs and mag. And now it's your turn to complete the table by conjugating the last two remaining verbs here, tulong, which means to help, and linis, which means to clean. Conjugate them into their future, present, and past forms. And you can always put your answers in the comment section below, and let's see if you got them correctly. And that's all for today. I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also, please do not forget to share and like this video. See you again in the next lesson. Bye!